Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, February 7th, 2014, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, I'm close to declaring the bear dead. I mean, we had another explosive day in the markets today, and it was the second one in a row, and I think we've seen we've seen the lows in the Dow until, we're going to see the Dow take out its all-time highs before we see the lows that we saw a couple days ago. That is my prediction, and I assure you we're going to make some good money on the swing up. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 165 points, but better than that, we just had a bonanza day. I was very worried yesterday. We had, I think, 9 out of 13 negative positions, and amazingly enough, those positions turned out very profitable for us. Most of them did, and anyway, the statistics tell it all. We only closed out $595 positive in closed out trades, but there was a reason for that. We basically dumped the losers we did have, and the winners stayed on for additional time because of this huge up move. So our really good stuff that we had, we're still holding, and that doesn't count with our closed out trades. So $595 positive closed out trades, but drum roll, we are carrying over $28,000 in open trade equity over the weekend and going into Monday, and that's going to turn out real good for us. I mean, we will cash out a lot of good trades out of that. Folks, you hear me say this over and over again, but the system is crazy. It drives you crazy. And for the past couple weeks, I've been dealing with a lot of very disheartened customers who just can't seem to understand that we have these periods of time when the system seems to go really bad, and then all of a sudden it turns. And I've said it turns all of a sudden when you least expect it, and that is exactly what has happened. And the profits that we made alone today wipe out all those losses that we had, and this is just the beginning of it. I mean, we're going to see a lot more good stuff to come. So I'm really happy. I want to show you those charts. Okay, here's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you can see, it comes down. We have this couple days of flattening, and then we've had 2 very strong upside days here, and I really think we're not going to get back down to these lows. I think this thing will go up and make new all-time highs on the Dow, and we can make a lot of money on that upswing. It's come down quite a ways, and there's a lot of energy in this market. I'd show you just, we have so many good trades today, I can't even possibly show them all to you. But I'll show you just a couple representative trades. This first one is in ATHN, that's Athena Health. And, I talk about this all the time, but it doesn't seem to make much of an impression. People get really worried about buying these big gaps, and Athena, I'm sure this was a result of earnings report, but anyway, Athena jumps way up here. We jump into this, and what happens, a lot of people want to, they want it cheaper than this. They look at this, and this is way too expensive to buy, so they want it to pull back. And of course it doesn't pull back. And the thing you got to understand, some markets do pull back, but sometimes when they pull back, they're going to fill that gap, and it doesn't make any difference where you buy it, you're going to end up losing it. The really good trades keep going, and that's exactly what happened with Athena this morning. We bought this, right on the open, or actually 15 minutes after the open, and this thing kept going, and we are holding over $4,000 in open trade equity. So Athena was a really good trade for us to be holding, and we just bought the scary gap, and it worked out great for us. I'll show you another one here. This is a really big trade for us. This was in Expedia, and we actually bought that yesterday on this little hump down here. And again, earnings reports came out, and this thing just absolutely exploded, and with us long, and we are holding over $9,000 in profits in Expedia. Now, I had somebody on StockTwits make some comment that they thought I was gambling when I bought this, but there's no gamble to this. This was a legitimate system trade. This was a legitimate breakout from the previous day's action. And I have said this many times, and I'll say that again. It doesn't always work this way, but sometimes these little breakouts right before an earnings report are caused by insider buyers. And of course, insider buying is illegal, but it's rampant. It's everywhere. And what happened here, in my opinion, is there was insider buyers buying this, knowing this thing was going to gap up, but that pushed up the market just enough for us to get in long. And so we're making profits we're making the profits legally right alongside those illegal insider buyers. Anyway, I'm happy. Boy, am I happy. This is a big turnaround and kind of ends the misery we've been going through the last couple of weeks. Anyway, that's my thoughts for this Friday. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you on Monday.